Hello and welcome back to another My Indie Marriage video. I'm going to be doing more reading. This is a list of common non-existent events in the lives of a neurotypical wife who is married to an ASD man. Could be a neurotypical husband married to an ASD female, but you get the point. So I'll start off by saying the pinks are a yes and the yellows are a no. So I'll just do a quick rundown through them. So number one, a specialness of memorable proposal or wedding night. We did have that. We went camping. He proposed while we were bushwalking and he said all these really wonderful things I didn't even know he felt, because he doesn't talk about stuff like that. And it was one of the reasons I'd said yes, because we were 10 years into the relationship. Things were really touch and go. You know, there was often times I just kind of wanted to strangle him and stuff. But he had this lovely conversation with me and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. So, yes. A husband who desires sexual intimacy with her regularly. Well, yes, he desires it regularly, I guess, once a week is regular. But, yes. A responsive, caring, generous and intuitive lover. This is a no for me. He's not. I talk to him about the things I like and dislike, and it's like we never spoke, and the next time we get jiggy with it, it's all like it's brand new again. So he may desire sexual intimacy regularly, but he doesn't desire the work that it takes to achieve that. Regular date nights and romance initiated by her spouse. Yeah, that's a definite no. He does the odd romantic thing, but it's definitely not regular, and date nights are definitely few and far between. A marital bedroom shared sleeping space with her husband. We do sleep in the same bed. We have had moments where I don't. I'll move to another room, but mostly we do. A peaceful pregnancy and supportive partner during childbirth. Well, I mean, he was there during childbirth. He was holding my hand and stuff. And he's really amazing during pregnancy. That was the thing that floored me the most. So we'd been together for, how long before we had our first baby? 7 years. And he was pretty kind of distant, closed off, cold, pretty sort of narky and aggro and stuff by that stage. And then I was pregnant and he was Mr. Wonderful, doing everything for me, looking after me, making sure I had all my needs met. And I was like, wow. And then the baby came and pop, that was gone. So yes and no. Practical help and emotional support during postpartum. Well, he was good with the practical. He was terrible with the emotional support. Yeah. Okay. Shared joy of delighting in children together. Well, yes. I mean, he did adore his children, especially when they were babies and toddlers and little. And even now, like he does love his children. We clashed on the whole parenting thing and everything, but he was there and into it, so I guess that's a yes. Equal partnership in parenting. Yes, he did help out, as I mentioned. We clashed a lot, but he did help out. Like, he would change nappies and help with the feeding and all that sort of thing. Teamwork in managing the neurodiversity of their children. Ooh. I've highlighted it as a no. It's so funny because he and the son, who are both on the spectrum, clash. He can't understand his son who's on the spectrum at all. And I mean, granted, they're different. They have different neurodiversities. But yeah, he's got no patience for him. He doesn't understand. He's, kind of aggro about that. So definitely not teamwork. I'm the one who manages most of it. So respect and admiration for her contribution to the family. Well, he does now, but he didn't before. He used to just think that I was really strict and my rules were crappy and he didn't want to obey them and he didn't want to do them, and headache, argument. But now that he's seen other people's children and he's seen how ours have turned out, he's quite appreciative of the fact that I did a good job. A division of labour within the household. This is a really interesting one because yes, he helps out. He does the main things you can see, like laundry and dishes. Like, it's obvious when the basket is full, you need to wash all the clothes. It's obvious when there's dishes in the sink, you need to wash the dishes. But the other things, like say the range hood needs cleaning or the cupboards need wiping down or things like that, I'm definitely doing the lion's share. And it does annoy me because I feel physically exhausted from it. And to add to that, the fact that he thinks he's neater than me. So funny. I'm doing the lion's share, but at the same time, he works out of the home doing that lion's share, so kind of even, maybe. A distribution of responsibility for the marriage and family. I would say that's a yes, because he does a lot with the children in that he purchases the school books, their school uniforms, he buys the food for their lunches, while I do the other things like liaising with teachers and things. So there's definitely help in that regard. Receiving care for herself during illness or injury. He's not very good at that. There's been some significant arguments that we've had around that. Like the very first time I was sick and he left me for a whole day. The other time I had to have some awful jaw operation. I was stressing about it. And he parks a mile away in a 50-degree heat and makes me walk there. I was pretty cross. So, yeah, he's a bit sort of neglectful and absent-minded in that regard. Apologises freely given and received. That is probably a no for the both of us. Both of us don't apologise freely. We just feel like it's all your fault. We've got a magnet on the fridge of this old grumpy looking couple and it says, we've been through a lot, most of it was your fault. And it doesn't say who is the your in there. But we have a chuckle about it because that's exactly how we feel. I think it's all him, he thinks it's all me. Alright. Holidays routinely celebrated happily. I feel like Bob Hawke. So if we were to say Christmas, yeah, we celebrate them. We celebrate Easter, we do Mother's Day, we do go on the odd holiday. Happily, happiness isn't really a thing that exists in our family beyond me being silly and jokey. Everybody's kind of so serious, so they're just celebrated. Seasonal fun, I don't even know what that means, so just scrap that one altogether. Pretty sure it's a no. Thoughtful gift giving from him. This one will trip a lot of people out. He does do gift giving and it's relatively thoughtful. So Mother's Day was recently, just recently happened. He gave me some scented reeds and a candle. Granted, I'm pretty easy to buy for because I can never have too many candles. So, but he bought me the gift, he thought of that. So he does do things like that. Her birthday is remembered. Yes, it is. We usually go out for dinner. That's a thing we do as a family to celebrate an occasion. I get a bit sick of that. I wish we'd do something interesting like roller skating or something. But we got to eat. At least he remembers, right? In fact, I forgot his birthday a couple of years back, and yeah, he's not letting me live that down. He even sent me hints and I still forgot, but oh well. When a wedding anniversary is treated as a special occasion, well, this is a no, and I don't care. We both don't treat it as a special occasion. I've made a video about that if you want to see that for reference. Mother's Day, what does it say? Honoured even though she isn't his mum. Yes, he does honour me on Mother's Day. Quality family time prioritised. That is a big fat no. We don't do that. He gets stroppy if we don't all sit at the table for dinner together, but dinner's a real sort of struggle and a chore. And we pretty much almost have no quality family time. Family vacations and couples trips. And then the next one is weekends spent together. We do go away to the country every so often, and we do have family vacations. We've had the odd couples trip, one or two, maybe a bit more than that. Like if we go out for a work do in the city for his work do, we might stay in a hotel together overnight. I guess that kind of is a couples thing. So yeah. Travel in retirement. We haven't retired yet, but I'm pretty sure that we will be doing stuff like that. Shared money and marital resources. Yes, we had a lot of arguments about that in the beginning. What was his and what was mine in his mind. And he thought that I was marrying him for his money and all these weird things that he was accusing me of. But he got better with it over time. So I think that was just maybe an adjustment for him, suddenly having to share an income and resources. Truth-telling and transparency. Well, there's obviously probably a bit too much of that. Yeah, he's pretty truthful. Yeah, he's not a liar, and I can read micro-expressions really well, so even if he tries to lie to me, I can figure it out real quick. So he's pretty honest. He doesn't have a lot to hide, to be honest, and nor do I. So I guess in that regard we're transparent. If anything, it would be like we might lie by omission, and by we I mean me. Like if I drop and break something and he says, oh, how'd this dent in the floor get there? Oh, I don't know. I lie like that because I don't want to be told off. But yeah. Alright, what's next? Conversation that isn't only informational. That's highlighted yellow, that would be a no. Daily physical affection. Yeah, no. He'll do the odd thing, like come up and give me a hug now and again or something, but I wouldn't say it's daily, I wouldn't say it's regular, I wouldn't say it's enough. It's just kind of there. I do more of that for him. Evenings spent together. Well, this is highlighted in pink, meaning yes we do, but it's not the spent together you're imagining. Or this person is imagining who's made this list. We will sit on a couch together and watch telly. There's not a lot of conversation, but we're sitting together. Alright, conflict that is low to moderate level in duration. We don't really conflict a lot. We have lots of micro conflicts where I like the heater set to this temp, he doesn't, and all that sort of hoo-ha. But in the middle of his aggro days, it was not moderate level, it was an extreme level of anger all of the time. And yeah, he could go for days being aggro, so that's a no. Shared interests enjoyed together regularly, that's a no. Compromise in difficult moments. I would say mostly no. Safety to communicate and be heard. Not really. I mean, I can say what I need to say, So for example, and this is probably a really terrible thing to say, so fair warning to those of you who are offended by how I'm about to tell you how I treat my husband. But we're having to talk about sex again. He's talking about how I'm not giving him any, and I'm not putting any moves on him, and I'm not doing anything for him. And I'm like so over this conversation because it's all died in the bum because he doesn't do anything for me. So he mentioned something about me being a tease. I don't know how. Like, I'm not doing anything, you know, sexy to be any kind of tease, but apparently my mere existence. Anyway, I said to him, you can talk. You're the tease. You're the one with the manpower body, but no sort of idea of how to, you know, use it. And he kind of goes, oh, you know, I'm really frank and upfront and blunt and truthful like that. I mean, he gave me all of those annoying home truths. Again, made a video about that, home truths. And so I feel like I can give him some home truths back every now and then. And especially in this particular occasion, because I just want him to stop talking about sex, because we converse about it. I talk about where I stand with it. He makes no improvements whatsoever, and then braise it again a week or so later, 2 weeks later, a month later. So I get a bit over it. Anyway, back to the list. Where was I? So, safety to be heard. So we can be heard, we can talk to each other. We're safe in that, like, we're not going to punch each other out or anything, you know, we can communicate. But I'm not sure we're really heard because nothing really gets resolved. Empathetic concern and sincere mutual interest. Yes and no. I mean, we have a mutual interest that is sincere with regards to our children and their health and well-being, but generally we don't have mutual interests, and I'm not sure he can be empathetic to anything that I'm going through, let alone show concern. So cooperation, agreeability and problem solving. This is a really hard one. We kind of agree a little bit more now than we ever used to before. We have had the odd cooperative moment, especially since Yes Week. Again, refer to a previous video. Problem solving. I feel like we do a lot of that independently. I do a lot of my living independently, so yeah, not really sure. A husband who prioritises her needs equally to his own. Yeah, that would be a no. But I've kind of gotten to the point where I don't really care anymore. I've sort of factored in that he can't meet my needs. He's not going to be able to meet my needs, so don't even put them on the table. But he's not like exceptionally selfish, in that he feels that he's allowed to meet his needs and go and do his things, and I can't do mine. He will let me, so, you know. A spouse who remembers her likes and dislikes, well, as I mentioned earlier in the video, that is a straight up no. He doesn't remember jack. We are constantly having those mini arguments about stuff like that. Like, I like the blinds closed or opened a certain way, doesn't matter. So, for example, I cannot stand, hate it, like a fear and loathing, if the lights are turned on while the blinds are open and then anybody who's walking past the house could see in. Can't stand that. And he'll just walk into a room and turn lights on before he's closed the blinds, and that just freaks me out, you know. This is absolutely known, and it gets done anyway, so yeah. A partner who dependently keeps his promises. He doesn't. Yeah. No. Friendships with other couples. Well, really only because I do that. He just kind of plays along. socialising together in groups. We do that. I've sort of got that going with a few people that I know, and ever since he joined the fire brigade, he's made mates with fire brigade people who on occasion will go and do things with. That being said, they're the ones who organise it. He just goes along. So our social life has died in the bum over the years anyway. Family parties, reunions and events. Ooh, does he do them? Yeah, no. We did have a big party recently. One of his friends was saying to him, you should have a party to celebrate this milestone birthday. And so he did. But as soon as, like, he talks to me in the morning, I'm going to do this birthday party because this friend of mine said I should. Yeah, all right then, no worries. Got my full support, right? Within hours of having that conversation with me, he was stressing and aggro and snappy and moody and everything was going wrong. And it's only just started, you know. The party itself was a great success, it was really good, but he was frazzled big time. Don't think he'll be doing that again anytime soon. Alright, inviting company to the home regularly, that is a big fat no. The biggest no of all the no's. We moved into this house because it was bigger and had more room and things, and it was meant to be so that we could have people over. And in the early days I was uber neat, constantly cleaning every nook and cranny so that if people came over the house was, you know, presentable. Now I'm not even bothering, and yeah, I'm admitting that out loud, but I am really slack with the house cleaning now because nobody comes over. Who cares? Why am I busting my ass cleaning the blinds one at a time? Because if you've got blinds, you know how annoying they are to clean, and nobody's coming, so who cares? Yeah, that does not happen. So, a best friend and companion for life. Well, this is actually highlighted in pink because it's a yes. We are good friends. I would say that about us. We can kind of laugh and joke and just kind of casually chat to each other and things, and we will probably be together for life. We do sort of do some things that are fun and interesting. Yeah, so we have a shed that I have wanted to fix for a long time because it's kind of falling down on one side. And we recently started working on that together. And now it's been years that I wanted us to do it, but we finally started because I just kind of pushed him by saying, we're going to this hardware shop, we're buying this stuff. And then we bought the stuff, and so then it happened. It started at least. It's not finished. And we worked together on that quite nicely. And so I'd say that we kind of got a friendship, at least in that regard. Like we can, you know, it took years to start, but we got there and we worked on it well enough. So I feel like we kind of have a good friendship, and we probably will be together till death do us part. So yeah, I feel like that's a yes. Yeah, so that's the list anyway. The events and things that supposedly we miss out on a lot. I can imagine there's a lot there that other people are saying is a no for them, where I've said it's a yes for me. And there'll be different things, I think, that people say yes or no to. But for me, the whole list doesn't relate to me. There are some things that we do have that are on that list that says we shouldn't have them, but we do. And then there are, of course, the standard things like no company, hardly any parties and things, you know, that are a yes, I agree. We haven't been having those events. Anyway, over to you. This was a bit of a longer video, but I do appreciate you taking the time to watch. Please leave a comment below. Love to hear from you, and thank you for watching.